1649 to St George's Hill, a ragged band they called the Diggers came to show the people's will. They defied the landlords, they defied the laws. They were the dispossessed, reclaiming what was theirs. We come in peace, they said, to dig and sow. We come to work the lands in common and to make the waste grounds grow. This earth divided, we will make whole.
Oh, so you think you know who I am? Well, you don't. We had a fantastic detached house. 3 bathrooms and 5 bedrooms, one each for Libby and Abby, they're my daughters. Oh, and we had an exquisite guest room. And the master was for George and I, on suite, of course. The 5th was, well, that was for the baby, which never happened, but we had fantastic parties with our neighbours. Very affluent people. There were CEOs, old money, politicians, cheeky, and Claudia and Clive, they're the Pattersons. They own half of the land and half of the property in this town. I know, we're not in the same league as them. But we had similar values, you see. Taking back our sovereignty and believing that a good education and hard work is the road to success. I could always rely on Claudia. I learned so much from her. Oh, Muriel! Just watch your P's and your Q's and never, ever, ever talk politics. And above all, darling, don't be cheap when it comes to a good bottle of bubbly. Cheers! Every morning, George went to work with a starched striped shirt. His top button always fastened, his tie perfected. There you go, honey. Oh, and a packed lunch. It smoked salmon and healthy brains, and God knows why. As hard as I try, yes, salad cream and not mayonnaise. Oh, you funny little man. I would be occupied by the ladies, you see, they completely relied upon me. Claudia says, oh, you're such a fucking great asset to our social dynamic. Here, oh, jobs. Organize a children's play date, tick. Pick up shopping, tick. Taking packages and parcels, delivered at all times of the day and night. Between you and I think that Claudia had a bit of a shopping habit she was hiding from Clive. I never said a thing. See, that's what us ladies do, isn't it? We keep each other's secrets. George, he would come home every night. Oh, I'm already exhausted. Half of the people in that factory don't know what hard work is. They're lazy, spoilt, and dare I say it, woke. He's getting it in his neck from the CEO next door, but 2 shareholders aren't happy. Someone said it's for the chopping board. I serve him his dinner and he eats. He scratches his nether regions. And then that's him for the evening. Oh no. Except twice a month. Oh. 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 Functionary. Oh, it's not his fault. It's mine. As the extra went out the window after I lost the baby. Oh, well done, George. All was going well until George. His tie is adrift. His top button is opened. Something is not right. They're moving the factory overseas, France. Outsourcing HR, sales and accounts to the Philippines. Progress, they call it. Working from home, the 3-day week. Oh, Jesus, there's no need for dinosaurs like me. I mean, I'm only 52. We'll be all right, George. We'll manage. I may have been lying to myself as much as I was to him. I could feel the tension in the air. Electricity and gas going up by how much? Cost of living crises. Mortgage rates through the roof. And then this tidal wave of letters came through our door. Red bill and demand upon demand. Oh my goodness, we needed a lifeboat. I threw overboard everything that we had. Savings, ISAs, even my car. We even used the children's school funds to just try and bail us out. Oh, but that wave, it just kept coming and coming. Oh, and the sea got choppier. The nausea set in, and we began to drown. Couldn't pay our mortgage, and our house was repossessed. You see, that's when it all started to go very wrong, Your Honour. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain. Ow, no, not ow, oh, bleeding hell. Oh, it's the same every morning. Brandon, Sonny, Luca, we're gonna be late. Oh, it's the grandkids. They're all named after characters from The Godfather, because we were bloody obsessed with that film in our house. You see, Grandad, he thought he was Don Vito Corleone. His family were from Italy, but he'd never set foot in the place. But we did cover his coffin in the tricolore. Well, you boys get your asses down these stairs, we're going to be late. Brandon, 16. He spends 20 minutes in the bathroom every morning. 5 on his head and 15 trying to hide his acne. But no matter what he does, he still has this hormonal whiff about him. Have a nice day, son. See ya. Oh, Sonny. Oh, well, he can't get his head off the pillow in the morning, can you? Because he spends all night on his computer killing dragons. Not killing dragons. Well, what is it now? Call of Duty, Black Ops. Stop killing! Oh, no. It's more than that. You see, it's set during the 80s in the Cold War, and the operation follows Special Agent Russell Adler, who's in pursuit of a Soviet Union spy, and his mission is to tip the balance of power from the Americans to the Soviet Union. He says that with such commitment. He could be the next Prime Minister. If it weren't for his ADHD. But then again, Sure he'd do better than this shit show. Oh, here he is, Luca. The youngest. Well, he just spends most of his time wanking. Bye, boys. Have a good day. Mode de transport. Grandad's ice cream van. What's wrong with that, eh? It's got 4 wheels, it gets us from A to B, and it's full of hundreds and thousands of sunny day memories. It's called Maria. My grandma. And whizzing through the streets, and everyone's giving me the thumbs up. You go and tell them, Angela. Go on, girl. You get them. Tell those bastards we're not taking it anymore. I raise my fist in solidarity and I give them a blast of me on. All of this estate, well, it used to be Grandad's patch. Everyone round here knew Rocky received his ice cream and me by proxy. He would send me and my brother out on the estate, searching around with specific instructions to, you make the sure that no one buys from Mr. Whips. I got into a right scuffle with, do you ever remember Philip Hanley used to live at the posh end of the estate? Well, I saw him eating an ice cream with an extra flake and extra chocolate sauce from Adam, the Whips guy. I told him what Grandad said. I said, hey, what about loyalty, supporting local trade and your own? Philip puffed out his chest from behind his grammar school blazer. Margaret Thatcher said, competition is good and it's a free market. Besides, my father says that you are not one of us. Oh, he gave me a Chinese burn and pushed me over and I landed in a pile of... Why do they always make these town hall buildings look so intimidating? There's these colosseums at the side of the front steps and a statue of some dead someone. He's got his finger in the air and an expression on his face that says, excuse me, you don't belong in here. And now there's the obligatory red, white and blue blowing in the wind. They seem to think it makes us patriotic. And it just pisses me off. I don't know how I get myself into these situations. Championing the underdogs, fighting everyone's battles, and now handing in petitions. But I hate injustice and politicians who backtrack quicker than Michael Jackson. Wee! Angela Rossini here to see the Right Honourable MP Philip Hannett. Yeah, Chinese burn boy. And what made you to join the party? To hand in this petition. She looks down her nose at me. I'm terribly sorry, but unfortunately the MP has been called back to London on urgent government business. You can hand that into his clerk 2 doors down on the left, or come back in, let's see. 6 months? Taken me 4 months to get this appointment, so his clerk is better than no one. You know this building? This building has been here since the Industrial Revolution that made this town. There's pictures on the wall of the mines and the cotton mills And the steelworks there as a testament to those born and bred round here. Hard-working men and women, mine, yours, theirs. But then, with a winter of discontent or an economic downturn or the simple swipe of a pen, they are crushed. Oh, it's the 21st century, move on. Progress is good. Oh, and it was for a while, because they brought in the light engineering plant and the distribution centre and the car factory. And people got back on their feet, but never quite as solid as before. Look at this petition. I mean, half the names on here are made up. The signatures are illegible. Trees are clean. Lenny the Lion classics. What does that one say? Oh! A neck curtain! Oh, do you know what? Their heart's in the right place. But it took me fucking ages to get them interested. Oh, no, Angie. I don't do politics. Do you pay a bill? Oh, yes, I do, yes. Then you do politics. Oh, you know what, Ange? This politics shit, it just goes right over my head. Can you read? Yeah. Then read this. Parsons, the developers, are going to build a dual carriageway, and it'll act as a gateway to the Freeport and give better access to the Moreland's private houses up there on the hill. But their council, well, they've agreed to bulldoze a third of the houses on our estate. You know, the ones that back onto the brook? Oh, yours is one of them. Can you write? Then sign that. But others, well, no matter what I did, they just pulled an ostrich. Here's something you might not know about ostriches. Despite what you think, they don't put their heads in the sand to protect themselves from predators. No, what it is. Their necks are too big for a nest, so they build a hole in the ground and they put their eggs in there. And because they need rotating several times a day, well, it looks like their head's in the sand. When in actual fact, they're just protecting their own. But no matter what you do, with your head down and your ass in the air, someone's gonna come along and stick in the boot. I've been waiting here half an hour. Impatience is setting in. I can hear the clerk on the other side of the door. He's talking on the telephone to someone. Oh, and then she rocks up. I'm afraid you'll have to come back another day. Why? Well, unfortunately, the clerk has taken poorly and he's had to go home. Well, if there's one thing guaranteed to make my Italian DNA kick in, it's lying. You come to me today and show me no respect. You lie to me. You want to swim with the fishes? But instead of lopping up a horse's head, I lost mine. I pushed her to one side. I barged through that door. I could see that clerk with his starched striped shirt running out the back door. So I followed him. He's fast walking down the corridor and I'm on his heels. Oh, excuse me, where do you think you're going? His walk turns into a trot. So I pick up my pace. You will not leave here until I give you this. His trot runs into a sprint, and I'm rattling my petition like a sabre. Oh, he's out in the corridor now. Jumps into an SUV. So I follow him. There's some kids running alongside with their arms in the air waiting for me to stop, missus. I pull up. Climb into the back. What? Can I have a 99 cornet with a flake of extra sauce? They don't know. They don't know that Grandad went out of business years ago. He can't keep up with supermarket mass-produced. A lot of Mam and Papas went under. They're back now. They call it artisan. That's just a posh word for fucking expensive. I give them some candy. It's donated from the sweet shop, Etty's. She's been round here for 40 years. I mean, she had struggled the last two with those crippling rates. But the final nail in her coffin were those fucking energy bills. Right, that's your lot. Oi! You tell your mum that there's a meeting round at my house tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Oh, he's too busy chomping on and chewing to give her down. So I get back in the van and I start looking for that clerk. Oh, I see him. He's turning into the temporary access road up to the Moorlands. So I follow him. Oh my God. All these houses round here, they look alike. Everything looks the same. No fencing around the houses. The landscape's finished, not finished. And the road is, potholed and bloody. Oh, come on, Maria. Don't give up now. Oh, but there's a crunch and a crunch and a crunch and a rhino, and she's finally up the hill. Oi! I can still see you, you bugger! He falls out of his car, hides his face, runs up the drive and into the house, and he shuts that door. Well, I ain't come this far to go back. There's two of them on the other side of the door and they're whispering. They're not gonna open the door. Well, fuck that. I'm round the back and the door is, no, not open, I'd say ajar. So I gently walked in. I wasn't prepared for what I saw in front of me. George. And Muriel. I hadn't seen my brother and his wife in 10 years. No. I wouldn't say that was breaking the public order rule or causing an affray. No. Well, I'd say it was more of a family reunion. It's a cold-blooded creature. No, not George. Gordon. He's some kind of lizard. I think he must have come up from the brook because it's the only bit of green there is round here. I see him every morning when I sneak to the end of this so-called garden for a cheeky cigarette. Gordon and I just bask in the sunlight, drawing in any warmth we can from the sliver of light that falls on my miserable life. The family don't approve. Oh, the smoking, not Gordon, although George would have him flushed down the toilet and Abby had been ringing Greenpeace. She's quite the eco-warrior. She went plant-based stage 3, staged a hunger strike until we agreed to donate some money to save the whale. She's a bleeding heart liberal. I have no idea where she gets it from. See, out of desperation, I'd reached out to Claudia for some help. I assured her it would be a temporary situation and that George would get another job and that we would come bouncing back. She said something about boundaries being crossed, but as I handed her one of our secret little packages with our... She agreed to have a word with Clive. Now, he's let us rent this house on the mornings, but he opened the door to a job for George. George was absolutely outraged when Angela turned up this morning, and when he's really angry, he goes very quiet. And I know what. Oh, he's gone back to work now. So when the phone call came through, could one of Libby's parents please attend school? There's been an incident. I got another antidepressant and I'm leaving this house for the first time in 3 months. Wish me luck, Gordon. Libby and Abby's school had ballet dancing and summer galas, and here it's all barbed wire and security gates. Mrs. Rosalind here, Libby's mother, to see the deputy head. We changed our name from Messina years ago because Claudia said it sounded a little bit too foreign. Libby, it's Mummy. Could you please come out? The deputy head says that she'd locked herself in the janitor's cupboard after an altercation with the boy in the lunch break. She's very concerned about her welfare, and have we ever considered therapy? Libby, just please come out. Libby hates me, wants to go back to her old school and blames me for Jenny. That's Claudia's daughter. Ghosting her on social media. I don't even know what that means. Deputy head says if she doesn't come out in a minute, we're going to have to call the fire brigade. It's a matter of health and safety. With that, Libby is out the door. She's going to divorce you and Daddy. Ask Claudia to adopt her. No, she's not coming home. She'd rather stay in this place, even if it does smell of desperation. The children are locked inside and I'm locked out. Oh, I can see that Angela, thick as thieves, with a woman with dark circles around her eyes and a baby in a pram that's got Greg's pasty crumbs all down its front. Well, the woman hands something to Angela. Do you know what? They're up to no good. I pull up my collar and put on my sunglasses. Chanel. Oh, they were a gift from Claudia. Yes, I know they were a wee gift. But I didn't say anything. You see, Claudia can be a little bit frugal when it comes to buying for somebody else. It's funny that, isn't it? Those who have the most give the least. My goodness, this estate hasn't changed in years. At the better end, there's the cart and horses with their queen in a poster, Margaret Thatcher. And at the other end is the Barton Arms with its red flag still flying, if not a little limply. Oh, I can see Angela and her accomplice going into her house. So I hide behind next door's hedge. Wow, someone's got green fingers. There's potatoes, carrots, onions. Is it oregano? Oh, Angela comes out and she's carrying a television. She puts it into the ice cream van. And then her accomplice comes out with black bananas full of just stuff. Now she's taking out a computer, pots and pans, a cuddly toy. God, they're robbing the place. You see that Angela, she'd always had a side hustle or two. I mean, at school she was selling chocolates and biscuits, and at youth club exchanging clothes and bags for a commission, of course. But I never had her down as a common thief. Oh. Now, they're carrying out a baby's cot. That is low. Stop, Angela Rossini, you thieving bastard. I had you down for many things, but stealing a baby's cot. Shut up. Don't you tell me to shut up. Please, please, shh. Stop telling me to shush. I am going to phone the police. Oh, no, Muriel. Before you do, please, just look into the back of the van. We haven't got much time, says her accomplice, and when I look at her face, I realise that the dark circles around her eyes is not through lack of sleep. It's through lack of self-defence. Step forward and I peer into the back of the van. Oh, there's two toddlers, girls aged 3, 4, and they're holding the baby who's now free from pasty crumbs. Look, Muriel, we're not robbing, we're not stealing, we're liberating. Natalie is trying to get away from her husband. I did a raffle at the Barton Arms. The first prize was a platter of meat. I raised enough money for a deposit for a flat on the other side of town. We're not robbing, we're repossessing her things and her right to live without fear. Just then, Natalie goes a shade of white. That's normally reserved for the dead. The front door! He's here! With that, Natalie drags Angela and they go into the van and slam the door. I can hear him roaring through the house. What the fuck? Where's my telly? Then I am confronted by a wall of blubber. Oh gosh, the flat reverberates off him and a globule of sweat hits me in the eye. Ugh. The smell of alcohol in his breath reeks through the air. He steps forward, so I put myself between him and the van. Who the fuck do you think you are? I reached for something in my pocket and thrust it under his nose. Social services. Oh, he's too pissed to realise that that's my driving licence. Now, there are two ways we can play this, I find myself saying. Either you turn around, walk away and let this woman and her children go free, or I call the police. You get arrested for battery and coercive behaviour. Yes, that is a thing. You're bluffing, bitch. Try me. I feel a trickle of pee running down my legs. And then he turns away and walks inside the house again. Go on, get out of here, no fucker or labber. I jump into the back of the van with a squelch. Drive! Just drive! Me and Muriel, we moved Natalie into a little flat. And oh, it was so sad. And even though the three of them had to share a little bedroom though, the kids were dead made up. Natalie looked up to the sky and she exhaled as if for the first time. Muriel didn't want me to take her all the way home to the front door, so I pulled up. She gets out, pulls up her collar and puts on her sunglasses. Says, if there's anything that you need, just let me know. You know, I can see Pattersons, diggers taking up residence on what used to be the old playground. Those bastards. They've no intention of listening to us. Muriel, you could get George to show that MP that petition. I mean, we've never been consulted about the road. We haven't been told about the demolition of houses. George, as a civil servant, has to be seen to be apolitical. He can't be seen to be left or right. So no, I shan't ask him to hand in the petition. We can't afford for him to lose his job. Today's a one-off. Muriel and George went to grammar school. On a scholarship. But she had a mind like a trap. She studied social economics, law, or something like that. But whatever it was, she was going to change the world. For the first year, she was fighting George's battles. Muriel, the warrior queen. I mean, his uniform was tatty and his kit was never right, and his shoes were not the right designer. And she fought for him, and then she realised something. She realised you can't beat them, so join them. You see, when you talk proper, people believe what you say. They think that you've got authority and credibility, and she knew that. She got her man to buy an elocution. And you know, lessons where you learn to talk posh. She told George to watch his P's and his Q's. And that his finger, not finger, and it's thumb, not thumb. Ah, George. He spent more and more time down to their house, you see. He said that they were a proper family. I was 4 when I first cooked my first dinner. 6, I was taking myself off to school. 7, I was looking after me and baby George. 8. I just thought man was asleep after smoking one of the funny pipes. So I made breakfast and dinner and tea, and then breakfast and dinner and... Mum! Mum! Mum, wake up! We've got no food! Mum! Mum! Oh, Mum, George really stinks. I put George on my hip and I walked all the way across the estate to Grandma and Granddad's. And I'd never heard him cry before. But that night, he howled and he howled like an animal caught in a trap. Boys, come on! Tea's ready! I kissed Brandon. Oh, and Sonny. And Luca. It's funny, isn't it? How history repeats itself. Claudia, it's so lovely to see you. And I am delighted that Jenny and Libby have finally made friends. I mean, to be honest, she's been giving me such a hard time. No. Don't say anything negative. It's boring. I'll try again. Wow, Claudia, you look amazing. Have you had some filler work done? Oh, no, Gordon, one should never ever point out people's flaws because it's very rude. I know. No, I know I promised George that I would unpack the boxes and make this place seem a little bit more homely. But according to the WhatsApp group ladies for lunch, it's a tapas and Prosecco special at Demetrius's at 1 o'clock. Yes, I do know it's going to blow my budget. But I shan't eat any food and I'll just have some drinks. See, George and Libby had ignored me all night last night, and even Abby and I had a row because she'd left her best coat at school. Sod it. I'm going to have some fun with my friends. Taxi! Dimitri knows Claudia, so we always get a lovely booth. Oh, there's lots of places that we could have sat. But that little bit of plaited robe tells everybody that you're special. And she loves that. The food is lovely. No, thank you. Wine, oh yes please, thank you. Oh, bubbles, cheers! Oh. More food? Top up, yes please, thank you. Oh dear. Oh, afternoon drinking on an empty stomach. And my head is spinning. They're all talking over each other. No one ever really listens. It's just chatter, birds. What? Oh, shampoo's amazing. What? Face cream. Hold back the hand of time. Intermittent fasting, lost 5 pounds. Oh, we're going on holiday to blah, 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 blah. Natalie, she's a friend of Angela's. She was being beaten by a pig of a husband. No, sorry. Angela and I moved her out of her house and into a little flat. It was very, very, very sad. You know, we all may live in the same postcode, but it's worlds apart. No, seriously. I mean, the academy's underfunded. They have no after-school activities. Their class sizes are huge. And even though Abby says she lost her coat, I believe she gave that to someone who needed it more. Well, good for her. George and I are not happy. We're having terrible problems. Oh, I've really missed you, girls. Through my bubble vision, I can see the expression on their faces. There's this mean lip and a look of disconnection to me and Natalie and what's going on in the real world. Fucking hell, Noriel. You're such a Debbie Downer. You've spoiled the entire afternoon. Dimitri, the bill. I figure out that I've got enough cash to pay for my drinks and a taxi home. Why don't we just split the bill? That'll be £150 each. Oh. I give my cash to Dimitri, who says, I'm sorry, madam, we don't take cash, just cards. I give him my plastic. Beep. Oh, computer says no. With that, Claudia snatches the cash off the table, pays for my half on her card, and tells me that I can pay the rest at another time. I say, I tell you what, I'll come round later on with the cash, and maybe I can bring Libby, and she can see Jenny. Claudia frowns. Computer says no. I take a shortcut home through the brook. We used to play around here when we were children. We would do tadpoling and paddling in the stream. Me, George, and Angela. We would bring a little packed lunch, pretend we were in another country. France. I mean, we'd never been there, of course. But we would go all over, madame, like a spam oui. Would madame like a bouteille de coke? I'm not even sure that that's French. Oh, a bee buzzes round. Oh, she takes up residence on a rusty bike frame that's been tossed into the river. You see, since they fenced it off, this place has become all overgrown and neglected. But there is life still here. There is life still here. It's getting cold and there's a mist forming over the river, so I make my way home. I climb through a hole in the, Jesus. In the fence. Oh, I can see George with Clyde Patterson, and they're talking too. Is that the pig? Natalie's husband? George is tied adrift and his top button is open and he's got that look on his face. Something is not right. Oh. God. That is it. No more afternoon drinking for me. Oh my God, I can't believe I got so drunk. Oh no. I made a complete fool of myself in front of the ladies, Gordon. I know. I shall apologise and arrange to take Claudia's money round. Hey, ladies, what lunch WhatsApp group has been deleted? I'll text her. Blocked. Facebook. Instagram. Just like Libby. Gordon. I've been ghosted! Oh, God. Oh, Gordon jumps up next to me. He is a true friend. Oh, Gordon, I've made a complete tit of myself in front of the ladies. George and Libby are not talking to me. And I absolutely hate this place. And I feel so lonely, Gordon. Gordon? Gordon? Gordon is staggering and is struggling to breathe. Gordon? Gordon, what is the matter? Gordon? Oh, he raises his head to the sunlight for one last breath and then he falls limp onto the floor. Gordon! 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 Speak to me, Gordon! 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 Staying alive, staying alive, ha, 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 staying alive, staying alive, ha, 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 staying alive, ha, 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 ha. Right, everyone in this room is sworn to secrecy. If any of this gets out, this protest will be over before we've even started. Yes, I am talking to you, Blessing. Lesson 72. She got arrested last week in Aldi for shoplifting. She had a loaf of bread and a wheel of cheese up her jumper. It's such a shame. She came to this country 40 years ago and she's worked as a cleaner for the NHS ever since. And then they privatised, gave her 0 contract hours and now her pension goes nowhere. I had a word with that security guy. I just said, oh, don't dob her in. I mean, you and I may find ourselves in that boat one day, you know, chasing the horizons of our life that are constantly shifting further and further and further into the distance. He let her off. This time. Natalie's here. She's got colourful pens and crayons. She's still a bit thin and grey looking, but she looks more like the 26-year-old that she should be. She's with Pauline. Aging it pair. Salt of the earth, that one. She grows everything in her garden. Potatoes, carrots, onions, and she donates it all to the food bank. She's brought a big roll of lining paper to make banners and slogans, along with her fuck the man attitude and a big fat joint of weed. Oh, God, of course. Jesus, Pauline, that is some strong shit. Oh, even the boys are getting involved, bless them. That gives me hope for the future. Luca, will you stop drawing penises, please? The boy's obsessed. Me? Oh, well, I made a fuck-off lasagna and a great big piece of garlic bread. We were having a great time. Everything was going fine until... Jesus, shit, quick, get everything away. Come on, put it, hide it. Put the banners away. Come on. Boys, just keep quiet. Shh. All right, keep your hair on, I'm coming. Abby came home early the day that Gordon She took a little photograph of him and me as a memento. We wrapped him in a biodegradable muslin and we walked him down to the brook. I said a little prayer. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We know Major Tom's a junkie. I placed Gordon into the ground, and as I did, a crack of sunlight broke through the brambles. It broke me! Abby was sufficiently embarrassed and kept herself occupied on her phone. And then she tapped me on my do you mind? I am mourning here. What? And then she told me something that snapped me back to reality. Right. I walked down to the town hall, through the halls of history. George, where are you, George? I stormed into his office. Oh, yes. He was eating his lunch, smoked salmon, healthy grapes, and no one is fucking salad cream anymore, George! Did you know? Did you know? George looked perplexed, and then the MP, Philip Hannett, came out of his room. What's all the commotion about? Oh, was you in on it too? Did you know? I thrust a piece of paper under his nose and I let rip. Gordon was a Zutica vivipara. Is that right, Abby? Yes. Who the hell is Gordon? He was my friend. Oh, he may have been just a common lizard, but their numbers are on the decline. Just a minute. Patterson should never have been granted planning permission. Not in an area where animals have a conservation order on them. What price did he pay you, huh? Was it a little backhander? a holiday in Greece, or an interior designer. What price are you prepared to pay? He says. Saving an invertebrate or your husband's job? Well, little lady, what are you going to do about it? When I opened the door, I was confronted by the pig. He blasted through everything in his path. Me, oh, God, no, not the furniture. And then he grabs Natalie by her hair, screaming as he drags her across the crowd. Oh, please stop. Then Pauline rushes out into the street, and with some weed-induced heroics, she delivered an eye-watering kick in his bollocks. Oh, he breathed in pain. It was just long enough so that we could go into the house and put our backs against the door. Oh, but he hammered, and he hammered, and he hammered at that door. So we put our arms together in a chain of solidarity, and we stood fast. And then it fell silent as he come. Doctor said that this bruise will fade away. This cracked rib would take about 5-6 weeks to heal. Not to laugh too much. Not much to fucking laugh at, I wanted to say to him. You see, the body has a great way of healing itself, because this bruise, it will go through the puke rainbow. From black to blue and brown and yellow. And this rib, apparently, the bones meshed together like that, and then soft cartridges made, and then the hardens, and it mends the broken parts. But broken spirit, that place where a sense of injustice is crushed and the voice inside is still screaming to be heard. When the spirit dies, so does hope. The cubicle curtain opens. Muriel, I thought you'd made it pretty clear whose side you were on. But tonight something's changed. And God is that mean lip and that look of disconnection between me and my world. And it's been replaced by Muriel, the warrior queen. Come on, Angela. Come on. Let's change the world. Noise! Make plenty of it. Drums, horns, whistles. Signs and slogans, make them bold and hold them up high with pride. Locking on with chains and ropes. Oh no, super glue's the best. because when it takes them so long to disperse it, you have the chance to say to the copper, who exactly do you work for? Toilet! Because when you do, your weight goes right into your boots, and it takes 1, 2, 3 of them to drag you off for cartwheel, yeah! And while they're arresting 2 middle-aged women, it leaves the rest of them to be disruptive. Save the lizards! Fuck them! Word got round quicker than shit off a shovel that 2 middle-aged women had been arrested, superglued themselves to Patterson's machinery and blocked the road. Oh, local media had a field day of it. Oh, vandalism and disruption, the threat of fines and imprisonment. The estate is up there in the gallery. I almost have to wipe away a little tear when I see that Pauline's got the boys with her. As she'd come round last night, she said, if all this comes Pete-Tong, I've got your back, pal. Those boys will be safe with me. Sorted. You see, well, George and Libby, they were completely embarrassed and they didn't hide it at all. Thought I'd had a nervous breakdown, was it because I was a menopausal woman? Even blamed Angela for being a bad influence. I guess we'd always been a divided family, we didn't know it. Abby, she raised a GoFundMe page so that we could fight this in court. She said, Mummy, you have to fight. You can't let the elitists win. It's a class war. Don't know where she gets it from. All rise. No, I'm more of a feeder, Your Honour. Not a fighter. But it does seem like the world is turning upside down. I mean, there's people out there can't afford the rents. And they're having to choose between eating and eating. And all the time those fat cats are getting fatter. You know what? Enough is enough. No, I've never been arrested for civil disobedience before. I've always been a good girl. Do I have regrets? Well, yes. I cried a river of regrets because, well, I'd stopped seeing who I was in the mirror a long, long time ago. I'd been seduced by shiny trinkets and the promise of a new beginning and a Britain to be proud of. And then I realised, along with the rest of us, that I'd been gaslit. So yes, for that, I do have regrets, but I have no remorse for giving Philip Hannett a bloody nose. No, I don't care if he is an MP. Surely the law applies to us all. Or is it truly just one rule for them and one rule for us? Oh, he bangs down his gavel. Order, this is my home, not yours. And the room falls silent. Then, up in the gallery, someone stands up. And another one. And they take off their jackets. They're wearing t-shirts with mine and Muriel's faces on them. It's a solidarity of people standing shoulder to shoulder. Free our girls! Free our girls! Order in court! Free our girls! Free our girls! Silence! the side of the judge's head is about to burst. Oh, but they won't be silenced, no. Now it's a chorus of them. Free our girls! Free our girls! Free our girls! The judge bangs his gavel. This is a house of justice. It's my home, not yours. Your actions were nothing but restless vandalism. No, there is no evidence here to say that the Right Honourable MP is anything other than a respectable man doing his public service. Oh, shit. This isn't going to end well. The judge puts the gavel into the air, and just before he drops it, there is chaos at the back of the room. It's our George, and he's being held back by a security guard. If you want evidence, Your Honour, I've got evidence. All eyes are on that George. Oh, he's in a bit of a pickle now. He tells George to walk forward and brings a folder, and he puts it on his desk. George tells him that there is what was that? An environmental study that's been heavily redacted. Oh, and now he presents him with bank statements. Donations, not only to our MP, all the way up the food chain. George says it's cronyism. Then George looks Patterson and the MP straight in the eye. If anyone should be arrested, Your Honour, it's not my incredible wife and my brilliant sister. It's them. All of them. The judge raises his gavel once more into the air. And before it falls, I wonder, how is this all gonna end?
To wonderlands in common and to make